It's time for another Dice Tower review with Z. Garcia.
Hey everybody, today I'm taking a look at That's a Question. This is a party game from the same publisher and the same designer as Codenames, an extremely popular party game. And here they attempted to do it again. This one is a lot more traditional of a party game. In it you are going to be asking other players A or B type questions and hoping that you are going to split your audience into picking one thing or the other. Let me give you a look at how it works. We'll come on back after that, and I'll tell you if I think it's a good party game. So here's what the game looks like set up in this case for 4 players. Everyone except the starting player is given one of these acorns. We placed all of our starting pawns, all of our pawns here in the starting spot. Everyone also would have been dealt 5 cards, by the way, which I did not do. And then you are ready to begin. So I'll be the star player here, and the idea is I'm going to be asking one of the other players an A or B question formulated with the cards I have in my hand, and then everyone else is going to vote on whether the answer from that player is going to be A or B, and of course they themselves will vote. Everyone who gets it right is going to move ahead 1 space on the track here. And I, the asker, I'm trying to split my audience, so I'm going to get 1 point on the track for everybody who did not get the right answer, the answer that the person I asked said was the right answer, all right? So let's just go ahead and do one here so you understand how this goes. So I have my 5 cards here. I would pick 2 of them, and I would pick 3 of the types of questions, which is what this board here is for. So the questions are always, which of these would you choose? Whom do you consider worse, someone who blank or someone who blank? Or which would you miss more if it ceased to exist, A or B? All right, so I'm just going to do this randomly for the sake of it being kind of funny. So here, let's go with which one would you choose? I'm going to go with these 2 cards. So they are, which one would you choose? To think up the catchiest tune ever, so to come up with the catchiest tune ever, or to discover a way to stop the zombie apocalypse if it ever happens. So there we go. That's what I'm asking, A or B. And I'm asking, I have to pick a player. So let's say I'm asking this player here. I take their acorn, put it in front of me. This is simply a system to keep everyone asking different people, because you have to ask someone who has an acorn in front of them. So that's what they're for, okay? So this player now is going to think about this and pick their answer. So they're going to go with that. And then the other players are going to answer whatever they think. They're going to be the guessers, and they're guessing what that player there, the blue player, has said. Once that's all done, then we are going to reveal all this. This player says, well, definitely come up with the catchiest tune ever. The zombie apocalypse might never happen. This player said B. They figured that person's a huge fan of zombies. They might have gone with that answer, but they didn't. And this player, nope, that's the one they picked. They said A, they were correct. Okay, everyone who was right moves ahead 1 spot. Bam. And everyone who was wrong gets nothing. I would move ahead for everyone who is wrong, so I get a point. And again, this is only a game with 4 players. This is definitely the kind of game you want to play with as many people as possible so that there is more going on. But it's a little easier to show you on the table with a setup just for 4. Okay? So that's basically it. And then the next player would go. I would replenish my hand back up to my 5 cards. These are discarded, and we keep going, all right? A couple of other things are going to happen that you may wish to trigger. If you're one of the guessers, you may play one of these 2 tiles. The ×3 simply means if you are right, you guessed the thing that the one who was asked said, you move ahead 3, not just 1. And this one says that you found the question to be particularly tough, and you're going to score points for everyone who is wrong as well, okay? Once you use these, they are gone, but there are a couple of spots on the board you may cross, like the meadow here and the fields, that will give you one of these back. That's basically it. You continue going until the game is over. A certain number of these would have been placed right here. In this case, with 3 or 4 players, there would be a stack of 24 of these cards. They'll run out. Game's going to be over. You see who the farthest ahead is, and that player is the winner of the game. And that's pretty much it. There might be a couple of other little details, but that's enough to give you an idea of how the game works. So let's go back up top and let me tell you if I think it's a good party game. All right, so there it is. Let's talk about it. I'm going to use my target audience system as a way to find some talking points. So we're going to start with thematic ties. This game has a ridiculous theme, but they know it. They mention it in the rule book. It makes for pretty enough pictures, a cute board, which is double-sided, by the way, depending on the number of players. You can pick one, you pick one side or the other. I did not show you that in the overview. And it makes for, again, pretty window dressing. The game, that what you are doing in the game has absolutely nothing to do with acorns or squirrels, but whatever. Does it hurt? No. Does it help? I don't think so, but it's fine. The aesthetics and the quality of the components, I think, is quite nice. Again, the game looks good, so that helps bring it to the table. It's sort of a very, it's the kind of game that is not going to be intimidating to someone that is not used to board games. And the quality of the components is very nice. The cards are okay. That's probably the lowest quality component in there. There's quite a nice amount of them. And they're just sort of, they're a little on the thin side, but you won't be shuffling them. You won't really be needing to manipulate them very much. Everything else is great. And the nice wooden squirrels are a great touch. The replayability here and the scalability. The scalability, I'll start there. I think it's okay, but I definitely would recommend you play with more people rather than fewer. It's a party game, and it plays well to that crowd. A bigger crowd, certainly better in this case. As far as the replayability, I think is pretty high because you have a great amount of cards and a lot of and 3 sides per card, so a lot of possible topics and questions and talking points. Love that. Very high marks. Game length is great. It's short, does not outstay its welcome. It's a party game, it knows it does that well. Ease of play, whether it's fiddly or if there's any weird design choices or anything like that. I think the last round in the game where you get a token back is a little bit fiddly, perhaps like a hair. But overall, it's a very easy game to play. I like the acorn concept. Means that you are making sure you're not asking the same person over and over. Everybody wants to feel like they're the ones answering the question, and that solves that problem in a nicely elegant way. So the ease of play is certainly there. You could teach this to just about anybody. And really, if you don't want to play with the extra little bonuses of ×3 and the particularly tough question token, you can play without those. That's okay. And then lastly, tactics and strategy and luck. There's the main tactical response here is coming up with a question that you think the rest of the group is going to have a hard time assigning to a player, right? So you pick a player and you give them a choice, 2 choices, A, B. You got to find one that you think most people are going to go, oh, I don't know, A, B, they both sound good. Because you want to split your audience, right? That's fun. It's certainly been done before. It's been, there's other party games that have attempted this concept. This one is certainly the one that does it in the cleanest way, and it adds that tactical touch to it to make it a little more appealing and add replayability to it. So that's basically it. I am not a huge fan of Codenames, the original Codenames, because it did not feel like a party game. It felt like a strange, sort of quiet puzzle, at least when I've played. I know other groups have had very different experiences with it, but when I've played, and I've tried it at parties, it was simply not very engaging. This is a party game. It does that well. I think it is a superb, fun, clever design that is certainly not, it doesn't feel like an ambitious thing, which I think is the ultimate trick of party games. They need to feel easy. They need to feel like you could have come up with it, but they're still got to be strong and clever and disarming to their audience. This game does that, and it's a great game. I think this one's going to get a lot of mileage with me at different gatherings. And you could throw this on the table and just play and keep the vibe of the party, of the atmosphere going without bogging everything down in a little brain-melting session, which is kind of how Codenames feels. So, fantastic party game. Very much would recommend it. If you're looking for this style of silly question and answer party game, That's a Question is a winner. This one's going to get a seal of excellence from me. Definitely look into it, folks, and bring it to your next gathering. I'll see you next time.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.